Hello, welcome to today's session of how to get the most value from your existing software systems. I'm JP Lessard. Be sure to check out the other videos in this series with both myself and my colleague John Horner. Today I'm going to be talking about empowering your people, specifically through the support that you provide to your people and around the processes. Now, notice I didn't say systems. I want you to think, what do you want? Do you want working systems or do you want a working business? And I would venture to say that if you're investing your time in watching this video series, you want a working business that uses your software well. So that's why I talk about support of people and processes, more so than the system. So let's talk about that. What does that mean? So there's three areas that I'll focus on today to help provide a good working business using your software. Number one, your support team. These are your people, the people that are providing support. So in order to support the people and processes well, they need to understand the software, for sure. I need to understand the ins and outs. I need to know the technical aspects of it. I need to know what the processes are inside the software, etc. I also need to know what are the business objectives? What's the business process? Who are the people using it for these different things? And how do they use it and what environment are they in? I have to know those things so that I can help deliver great support for the people using it and the business processes that it drives, and not just looking at it in black and white, ones and zeros. Second thing to think about for your support team is what's their backup? So if you've got third-party support, most likely they have built-in backup. They've got tiered support, tier 2, tier 3. If something is more complicated than the first person that's looking at it can handle, they've got extra people they can go to. They also have backup in case that person who's usually providing support to you goes on vacation. But what if you've got just in-house staff? What happens when they go on vacation for a week or two? Does it mean that you shut down your business? No, you got to keep running and you still need support. And what happens if there's something that's more complicated than they've run into before and they need to escalate? So I would think about what backup can you provide to your team members so that they can escalate things, get different ideas. It's either through your software vendor or maybe through it's a third-party consulting company. So think about that so that things don't need to grind to a halt when your support team goes on vacation. Number two, support mechanisms. These are the tools that you use to actually track your support. Number one, you have to track everything. Whether it's a spreadsheet, you've got a help desk system, whatever it is, make sure you're tracking everything. And when I say everything, I mean not just the things that are broken or the issues, also the opportunities and the ideas for improvement. Those are just as important. You want to gather it all together in the same place so you can look at this big list together, because that then helps you prioritize. And you've got to constantly prioritize your support list. And you're prioritizing issues and opportunities all amongst the same list. And don't just prioritize by the squeakiest wheel or whatever last came in the door. You got to prioritize based on the impact to the business, the impact to the users themselves. That should be the top priority. And communicate. Communicate about the status of these issues. So don't just have it be a big black hole that people are supporting, they're reporting issues, they're reporting ideas, and nothing ever happens and they don't know what's going on. Let them know specifically, okay, that's a great idea. We've put that into our roadmap for Q1 of next year. Or thanks for reporting that issue. This is something we've deemed an emergency and we should be resolving this today. Make sure you're communicating with people so that they know what's going on. They'll stop worrying about it. They'll be able to go back to doing their job, which is what you want them to do. Finally, think about the support approach. And this I'll say is the mindset. The mindset of you as the champion of this support process, as well as the support team. Got to think about in these terms. Number one, long-term versus short-term. And I'll say it's not always a versus thing. You want to think about both. What's a long-term solution and what's a short-term band-aid sometimes that I may need to put in place? So I'll use an example of, let's say that you can't invoice your customers today, okay? And it's a big deal. And you may have monthly invoices that go out for certain services. And if I can't invoice that, that's a big chunk. It's going to impact my revenue. Big problem. What I need to do is be open for smart workarounds. If there's a problem in the software system that's causing me to not be able to run my normal process, what's important today? It's not that the process goes through the software, it's that my invoices go out the door and that they're accurate and they go to the customers. So think about, is there a workaround that we can do in the short term today to get it to work, and then make sure we don't lose focus of that long term. So you do want to solve it today, you want to get the invoices out the door. Also then I need to be sure my support team handles that long-term solution so the next time I do this, it's not a problem again. So keep both things in mind when you're looking at it. And finally, I'll say be willing to change, be open to change. So as ideas come in and you've got those opportunities that we talked about, make sure that you convey back to people when that idea turns into a change in the process, or a change in the configuration of the software, a change in the way that things are happening. Be open and willing to do that, because that's going to keep encouraging people to come up with those ideas. And that's what's going to drive innovation and drive your business forward. So keep all those things in mind with your mindset on support. Now that you know, I would highly encourage you to both keep the engine itself, your software, and the operators, your users, moving forward and delivering the best potential value to your company. Until next time, thank you. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions.